Really, did I show you my really cool shirt?
I love your shirts. Look at that. In your trip to Japan,
Yeah.
we were all wondering. I pulled your arm. I was like, "Listen, you have to spend money. You have to spend an incredible amount of yen or
Yeah.
whatever is going on out there."
Yeah.
And we were wondering how you got the stuff back. Did you have to buy suitcases and then like stuff it with protective foam and now you have a brand new suitcase you didn't arrive with and that's how you haul it home, or do you ship this stuff to yourself? How did you get your stuff back to the States?
Very carefully.
Megadads Live is a mature rated podcast. It's for the Mega Dads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids. So put on those earmuffs and let's go!
First, let me show you a couple things I just have sitting here on my desk. So I got
Ooh, so cool.
decal. I got myself an Ape Escape decal and also a Ape Escape coffee mug.
Nice.
Cool. I was looking for stuff like this. I was looking for stuff like my Tron, my Servbot shirt, and my Ape Escape sticker, and this motherfucker right here. Look at this guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Adamari.
The Prince.
I was looking for that, right? Like you can go anywhere and you can get a Mario stuffy, right? But you go to Japan for some of the odd stuff, and I got a bunch of odd stuff. So when we packed to go, we packed half full suitcases for the most part.
Oh, nice, smart. Okay, so
we each had a big checked bag, and then we had a few personal item carry-ons. And I'm like, if we just limit what we put in the suitcase, there's a washing machine at the hotel. We can wash clothes and reuse clothes, but let's preserve space, right? And the first real full day that we were there, we bought a tremendous amount of stuff. We went to the Tokyo Station. There's like a mall underneath the Tokyo Station where it's got what's called Character Street. All sorts of specialty shops based on IP. So there's a Pokemon store, there's a Snoopy store, there's Sanrio stuff with like Hello Kitty. There's all sorts of cool characters. One Piece, there's like a One Piece shop, all sorts of stuff. And we bought a lot there. And I was like, you know what? We were pretty good today. We bought a lot, but like this isn't that much. So like I think we're gonna be okay. The next day we went to Shibuya, which is got the big crosswalk, the busiest crosswalk in the world. Everybody knows this famous, traffic intersection. And there's this huge shopping mall there that has the Nintendo store and a Pokemon Center and the Capcom store.
Damn.
And we hit that first. Like we went straight there. That was our first stop, this mall. And when we left the mall, I was carrying so many bags, so many giant bags. And I looked at my wife and I'm like, I think we need to go back to the hotel because I don't want to carry this shit around all day. The Nintendo store was devastating. So much stuff. And long story short, by the end of the trip, we were in the airport weighing our bags. You know how you got to weigh your bags, and if they're overweight, then they're going to charge you like $300 extra or whatever.
Right.
One of our bags was too heavy. One of our bags was too light. So we had to do some Tetrising of like, we were sitting there in the terminal with our bags open on the ground, shuffling stuff from one bag to another to make it all worked out. We didn't have to buy any extra suitcases, but these fuckers were packed tight. Everything survived the trip. Nothing broke, which is great because we bought a lot of like plates and dishes and stuff from Kirby Cafe and Pokemon Cafe and stuff.
I'm so excited for you, for your haul.
I bought you something.
No, you didn't.
I did. I bought you something.
You didn't have to.
I'm putting it in the mail this week.
Oh my God.
You're going to be excited. And we also did a giveaway on the Megadads Boost on our Patreon. So we're going to be sending out a Japanese prize pack. We're going to announce the winners of that on the next episode of Megadads Live. So if you're a paying member of Megadads Boost at patreon.com/Megadads, get over there and enter to win this Japanese prize pack. Good shit. Hey everybody, it's time to take a quick time out and thank the members of Megadad's Boost for bringing this episode of Megadad's Live to your eyes and to your ears. Megadad's has been going 11 years strong, and we can't do it without the support of our Boost members. So this is the part of the show where I give a great big thank you to those who are already enrolled, and I encourage you to sign up as well at patreon.com/Megadads. It only takes $1 a month and you get amazing perks, including every episode of Megadad's Live boosted 5 days early and completely ad-free, which means if you're a Boost member, you don't have to listen to me do this crap every single week. We love our members of Megadad's Boost, and we encourage everyone to join the ranks. Our Boost members for the month of January 2025 are Craig Campbell, Joseph, Eric Wood, Spokes, Emily Smith, Brent, John DiFrancesco, Estuardo Zenteno, Brendan Myers, Brandon Wilson, The Snack Network, Dave Soto, Jesse Waldack, Timothy Alf, Andy Penzick, Luke Porter, David Snyder, the Bafo Yucks Dudes, Justin Masson, and the Nintendo Dads Podcast. Thank you so much to our Boost members for supporting Megadads with as much as they can every single month. But hey, if you don't have the extra scratch, you can join Megadads Boost for free and just be a part of the community. Those awesome folks hanging out in the free tier at Megadads Boost are Victaris GX, Silara Clark, the Coconut Wizard, Avi Cohen, One Track Gamers, John Layola, Michael Kwan, Sonny Megatron, Nima, PD McD, Mike Salvino, and Brian Scott. Thank you all for your continued support of Megadads. And if you don't want to be a part of the Megadads Boost community, anything you can do to help promote Megadads to your friends and family would be greatly appreciated. That's enough out of me. Thanks again. Back to the show. And you know what else? I'll tell you one other really quick story about my trip to Japan. We booked our hotel with the full intention of going swimming. Kids go to a hotel, they want to go swimming, right? They want to swim in the pool. So when we booked our hotel, we were really excited because it had this sky deck spa. It was like a pool on the top floor with open air. Like there's no roof on it, so you can look up into the sky. There's frosted windows all the way around the pool. I'm like, my God, we can swim on the roof of this hotel. It's gonna be so amazing. We get there and we're checking in. The guy is talking to us. He's like, okay, and for the sky spa, the children can go with you. But your boy will have to go with you, Dad, and your girl will have to go with you, Mom. And I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, what? What is he talking about? Turns out, this is not a pool. This is a public bath.
What do you mean?
You know how people take baths?
You mean people are going there to wash themselves? Is that what you're telling me?
You go into the
together.
You go into the sky spa. There's two of them. There's one for women, one for men.
Oh, the dongs and the bushes are out.
The dongs and the bushes are out. You have to do a public shower before you go into the spa, and then it's basically like a big ass hot tub.
Yeah.
My son was like, "Huh? What now? Huh?"
Did you do it?
Oh, we did it, man.
Oh my God, you schlonged it out.
You gotta do it. So like the first time we did, I'm like, it was Father's Day. It was Sunday. It was Father's Day.
What a
I was
bonding
tired.
moment.
I was sweaty. I was like, you know what? We were on the train back to the hotel. I looked at my family because we had kind of decided originally, like, we're not doing that. But throughout the day, like I'm sore, man. Like I need some relief. So I looked at my family. I said, I'm going to the sky spa. And they looked at me like, are you out of your goddamn mind? And I was like, I'm doing it. I'm going to the sky spa, thinking that I will go alone and, whatever. Elliot is like, I'm going too. I'm like, oh,
I want to be like my dad.
I'm like, first of all, like, good for him. Like, good for him. Go with the flow.
It's adventurous. Yeah.
Do as the Romans do.
Win in Rome. Yeah.
Yeah. Second, but then I'm like, shit, my dick's going to be out in front of my kid. Then that was a little weird.
Yeah.
But we went up there the first...
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? There's my dick. So we went up there the first night. We were the only ones there, right? So it was not that bad. It was kind of like, okay, we can do this. This is fine. Next night, he wants to go again. I'm like, all right, let's do it. We were not alone the second time.
Oh my God.
Random Japanese dong. There's like, there's a guy's wiener. There's a guy's butt. He's like 2 feet away from me. This is weird.
Oh. This is wild. So great experience then, huh? Just
It was a
being
good experience. It was very
loosey-goosey,
relaxing.
get in the public bath.
Yeah.
So I did this. I went to the I don't know if this is racist, and I apologize if it is. The Asian spa?
Okay.
Can I say that? I don't know.
Sure. I don't know.
I mean, it was there were it was an Asian business. It has
Yeah.
it has Oriental. Is that I apologize if it's racist.
You're
But there's
towing a line.
the other languages everywhere.
Yep.
I think it's translated to be King Spa or something. So anyway, you go.
It's probably very similar to what I did. Yeah.
You're supposed to strip and bathe yourself, and then you go into the pool thing and you're naked. So anyway, I did it. I went in, and you know what, like, you know how like if you ever are around other dongs,
Yeah.
the etiquette is, you don't sit and stare at other people's privates. Like,
Oh,
that's
damn
just
it. I knew I was doing something wrong.
so that's like that's the code. Like that's but
It's a dick code.
I don't know if it's because of like where exactly I was, but when I walked in, all these, like old Asian men
Yeah.
were just completely focused on my nethers. Like
Yeah.
like sitting there, eyes on my shit,
Yep.
like, and I'm like, and all of them. So, it was probably a room with like, let's say 20 something people. And these old guys are just, sitting there in the water, in the tub or whatever, just staring at me as I'm walking around. Like, they could avert their eyes, but like so in your experience culturally,
Yeah.
is that just like, did you catch people just kind of like, zooming your Zam or what?
No, it was more like what you expected it to be, what you outlined there of just like, hey, maybe let's not look at each other's cocks. Did
Okay.
you
So
did you like put
they
a leg
averted
up
their
and
eye.
kind of like say, hey, what do you think of this? Like, how did you react?
I was so uncomfortable because I'm like, why are you staring at me? I'm like, maybe I was just in a creepy one with the wrong crowd, and it was like, a Thursday, and these are just the creeps that come in on Thursdays,
Sure.
and they were just kind of trying to like,
Creeper Tuesday, yeah.
sneak a peek. But I don't know. But my experience was not good in the sense of like, I felt like, we could go about this in a different way. You know what I mean? Let's not make it such a big deal. But they're like literally like the guys are just like looking and like following me as I'm like going around, because walking around the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm like, look over there. What the hell? Like, I felt so weird.
I would have felt flattered. I would have been like, hey, you want me to do something with this? Like, can I show off in some way?
My wife went on the other side. Obviously it's like, split. The women were on the other side. And, I like when we did this, we did not like know in advance. So it was just kind of a thing, like in the moment, it's like, all right, we kind of walked in, and then it was like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. Kind of quick.
Mhm.
So when she came out, she was just like flabbergasted. She's like, Bush. She's like, Bush, so much Bush. And I was just like, that's all she kept saying for like 20 minutes. She was like scarred.
Yeah.
And just kept saying Bush. And I was just, and that's our story. I'm like, Bush, what? I'm like, what are you saying? And like, I knew what she was saying, but like, I'm like, are you like, are you going to use some descriptors, or are you just saying Bush because you really want me to understand that you are uncomfortable? We did not go back. So it was not. Yeah.
Not part of your regular routine, huh?
Yeah. Have you publicly bathed with others? Leave a comment in the YouTube description of this episode if you're watching the YouTube video version.
Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of this experience. Much.
Yeah,
Not
no
like the
phone,
last
no
thing that we
phones
talked about.
allowed.
Yeah.
I assume.
No phones
Okay.
allowed.
The place to be for Megadad's socials is the Megadad's Discord, where you can engage with your favorite Megadads as well as other friends of the Megadads every single day in our stress-free and welcoming social space. When you're a member of our Discord, you will get alerts for all of our content drops, so you never have to miss a review, a podcast, or a hot take. Partake in our fun weekly Megadads holidays like Waluigi Wednesday and Final Fantasy Sunday. Megadad's Discord is fun, free, and follows you wherever you go. Join us today and become part of the conversation.
All right, let's talk about a game. I'm very excited to hear you talk. This is our first time
Yes.
talking ever since you acquired yourself a Switch 2.
Yes.
And you've been playing a game that I struggled to play with on the OG Switch. I want to hear your thoughts about Tears of the Kingdom. Are they calling this? What are they calling this? Remastered?
I was trying to actually get that like solid. So it's The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 Edition.
That's a very long title, yeah.
Acquiring the Switch 2, I was on the fence and mostly made the decision to dive in for the FOMO aspect. I'm like, I have to get the new console. I always do. I always end up breaking. And again, my buddy Clay, Megadad's contributor, got a second console, and I went and picked it up from him. And in my short time with it so far, I am surprisingly happy. That is like
Wow.
that is my go-to phrase, because when you look at like things like the launch lineup, it's like, well, Mario Kart World is like the flagship, but there's like a drought,
Yeah.
so to speak, for like true new exclusives. And we've discussed this on our mini podcast Switch Talk 2, which you can find on the Megadad's YouTube channel in its own little podcast playlist, where we'll go more in depth on Switch 2 related topics and news and games. But I think all of that to say is that it was more than I was expecting, and my expectations were fairly low. I'm enjoying Mario Kart World way more than I thought, even though I'm not the biggest Mario fan. And then one of these ideas of the Switch 2 is playing Switch 1 games with enhancements. So we already sold this to you, but we can make it better. We have the hardware now to give you a better experience, better performance, extras in games, like new items, new quests, new things. Every game is going to be like different, and they only have a handful of enhanced games out. So what's important to know off the bat is if you do own a Switch 1 edition, which I did, I played Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 1, and you can upgrade for a paid dollar amount. I believe it's $10, $9.99 via the eShop for the upgrade. So it's a standalone purchase if you want to. $10 upgrade to unlock all the enhanced features, or it's included already if you're the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack subscriber. So Nintendo
really?
Switch Online is their, like, almost like their Xbox Live. It's like, okay, here's your perk rewards, online play access, and we're going to pay us a dollar amount. So as a little like perk, it's like, oh, okay, well, you're going to have access to the enhanced upgrade in effect for free, or as part of your Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. I think the expansion expansion pack is more expensive. I believe it's like a tier thing.
Yep,
so it's like Nintendo Switch Online Basic, and then if you pay more for the expansion pack version, you get even more things. One of the things in the expansion pack version is access to the GameCube games, I believe. So you have GameCube, and on there right now is Soul Calibur 2, F-Zero, and I think Wind Waker. So you have those games available, and then boom, I was able to get, for not paying any additional money, the Tears of the Kingdom upgrade. So what this actually is in effect is like, it's like two halves. One is the performance and visual enhancements. So now the game runs at 4K 60 frames per second dock.
Yay!
And 1440p 60 frames per second handheld.
Oh wow, really?
The loading
1440p
times,
that screen, huh?
Yeah. Loading times are better. The HDR support is there. And there's this whole idea of the screen is not the best on the handheld, on the actual Switch 2 system. But to me, I've been telling people that I have been impressed with the way that things glow in the game. All of these like particle effects and the greens and the blues in Mario Kart World, anything that's on fire or neon, it looks so good. the smoothness that I describe with this resolution bump and this frame rate bump
Yeah.
cannot be described in words. When you turn the game on and you start moving around the sky or the underground or wherever you are, it just looks butter. It looks so good. I struggle to find the words to describe how much of an improvement it is over the original. The performance issues that you would see, like stutters, jagged edges, like draw distance issues, things like that, much improved. And it's a beautiful game.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I have such a deeper appreciation for the game now, like exponentially more than before. I don't think I'm even overselling it, because I'm bringing my Switch 2 today to a family party to show all of my friends and cousins that I'll see there, because I want to show them specifically this game
Yeah.
running, because I'm like, I have to show you. You have to see it for yourself. And linking one thing to another, this performance bump is the reason I believe why this game has gotten its hooks in me more than the first time I played it. For one reason or another, I should say for this reason,
Yeah.
I have been I'm like, it's a game that I want to turn on. Like, as soon as I have a free moment, I want to run to it and turn it on. It's that type of, like, when you had that game that you just wanted to keep playing.
How-
Now it's that game that's pulling me in that way. And I'm
That's
so
good.
surprised. And I keep asking myself, I'm like, why? I just tend to be more immersed. I tend to be unlocking more things, and I found myself Googling, like, more from a progression standpoint. Because you can just wander, and that's what I did in the first game. I did a lot of the little challenge rooms that help unlock either hearts or stamina, and I did these not the temple, what are they called? The
Shrines.
shrines. And I was shrine addicted. But now, for one reason or another, I'm collecting Korok seeds. I'm finding the armor pieces. I'm going to places I never went to before. I'm pushing the limits and figuring out how to fight the bigger monsters, like the more unique things. I'm looking up strategies on, like, how to combine items. I'm building way more. Um, and I'm wanting to do all of these things. The music, it's so weird because it's probably not enhanced, but the music sounds better somehow. Like, I'm almost like I'm appreciating every little
You're being
thing.
tickled. Your brain
Yeah,
is being tickled.
I'm being tickled. So
Yeah.
it's really good. I don't want to oversell it, but I will say that it's very impressive.
How far
that-
did you go on the original Switch on this game?
Oh man, yeah,
Because
should've
I
looked at
bounced
my-
off pretty damn hard on Tears of
Yeah.
the Kingdom originally, which
I
is
went-
weird because Breath
Yeah.
of the Wild is like one of my favorite games ever.
It's interesting. Okay, so this goes into the part 2, right? There's the Zelda Notes app. So there is a app on your phone now that you can download that's called, I think it's just called the Nintendo app. The app opens and there are mini apps within the app, of course. Nintendo, thank you.
Good
It's like
God.
you have a Splatoon one, a Zelda Notes one, and then you have, like, there's like 5-6 game Animal Crossing, and they all have different functionalities. So once you open the app and then you get into the Zelda, then it has more tiles, and it's like, here are the 9 things we've added. I do not recall if this is exclusive to and tied to the Nintendo Online expansion. This may just be an update and available with the Switch 1 version, like, even if you're not on a Switch 2 and not playing the enhanced version. I do not know. I don't have that information. So here's what it includes: voice guided navigation. So a GPS style thing where you can, spoiler free or not, there's a toggle. It's like, do you want to know the name of where you're going and what you're going, or do you just want a general, I'm looking for a shrine, and, like, it will kind of hint at it, like the location will be there but not say what it is. So for instance, for me, I was wondering to myself, I found this really cool island. I traveled further than I ever had before, and I was wondering, I'm like, is this shrine I just found the only one here, or am I going to spend 30 minutes looking around and figuring it out? I was able to determine based on the app that there in fact was not another shrine on this island. It saved me a lot of time. I'm like, okay, I'm really into like shrines right now. I want to go find one. I'm one segment away from unlocking a new heart. Let me just move on. So it's useful. I've used this. It's a very detailed map. It has filters where it's like, oh, what are you looking for specifically? Do you want to fight this type of enemy? Do you want to go to this particular place? There are voice memories, which are new audio logs where they just get into the lore. You have Princess Zelda talking about like random like things about the world, and she just talks about, oh, the Temple of Time was originally built here, and what like things that expand the story and the lore.
Is that content in the game anywhere, or you can only get it through the app?
So
like, can you do that map filter, look for the thing, or listen to those
it's
notes
all
in the game?
app. Yeah, it's like through everything is
all in the
through. It's like through the app, so to speak, because that's how you access it, and that's where you're seeing it. Like, and now that you mentioned that, that's interesting because I was thinking to myself, like, because it would have been weird if it was like use the app to activate the map, which would be on my big TV screen in front of me, which wasn't the case. But I also didn't like miss that. It was almost like surprisingly seamless, where I'm thinking to myself, this is clunky, right? Why am I in the app? But I guess I didn't even give it a second thought. I was like looking down and then looking up and just being okay with that.
It's your second screen. It's your
very
second
weird.
Screen, right?
Yeah, interesting. There's an auto build thing where you can share QR codes and you scan it. Like right now there's like third-party sites you can go to that are kind of collecting these things. But long story short, you scan the QR code and in the game it will build that contraption that someone has blueprinted, and it will just build it. So the auto build feature is a feature that's unlocked as like a skill in the main game, but this is like a way for you to get the blueprint of it from other people and
do you like the building in this game?
I didn't before as much.
Okay.
And I'm appreciating it more now. Why am I under this spell of the performance enhancement? I don't understand. I'm building way more. I've Googled a lot. Like over the years, people have played the game, developed strategies and best practices and tips and things that the real masters of the game have gotten into it, and they've teared it apart and played with the physics. And when you watch videos online or go to websites, you get ideas. And I've been doing things that I've not done before. Like I used to put like a fire thing on my shield very regularly. It was like, oh, fire on the shield. I'm blocking, but at the same time, there's an offensive pillar of fire hitting the enemy. I used it extensively before. I've been doing it now, but I just learned if you put a rocket on your shield, you just fly straight up and you could just boost yourself up. So I started unlocking shield slots so I would have more shields, so I could have more rockets, and now I can go up a mountain in like no time because as long as I've created a bunch. And now I have this whole new traversal thing that's opened things up. When it comes to the building specifically, I've learned how to put a glider in the air using the Ultra Hand, and then I put the glider down. Then I use recall, and I stand on the glider, and the glider will go back to that position in the air, which is where I personally lifted it to. And then you let recall go, and now you've launched yourself from an aerial position instead of like sliding off of something solid. It's almost like a boost or a more smooth way of taking off. And now I'm going further. I actually just unlocked the battery item, which gives you extra juice, like in these little like battery ones that work really well. So I'm going further and farther with my contraptions that I ever have. I'm doing more boats now for one reason or another. I think I didn't understand how good boats could be. So like all sorts of things. There's a photo studio mode. This is something that I wanted to get back to. The play data and global stats. You can see global stats of what people have done and your own personal play data that is so minutia, it's insane. It's like how many obviously how many Koroks have you like collected, but like how many times have you done this and that? Like all this data on your personal play is in the Zelda notes. And then I'm using my amiibo more now. Like I have all these amiibo I'd never scanned before, and now I'm just scanning them and like getting the stuff. So long story short, there is a lot to do. It makes the game feel fresh. I don't know. I'm using the app.
You're using the app.
I'm like, this is stupid.
The Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I was like, this is stupid. Like, it's gonna be clunky. It's not gonna be useful. And I'm in there scanning these QR codes. I'm in there like doing the GPS and like finding my way easier with it. I'm looking at my play stats. Like, I'm scanning my amiibo.
I'm glad that you're enjoying it, and I'm glad that you're taking the game on its own terms. Like, you're doing all this weird shit that Nintendo asks you to do, which is super easy to criticize. Like, it's very easy to listen to Nintendo talk about why you need to have your phone with you while you play. And, from a first perspective, from the first blush, it's like, why the hell would I want to do that? But I'm glad that you're finding the fun in taking the game on its own terms, because that's part of Nintendo's charm, right? And this is a game that I wanted to love so much, and I could not get into it. And a big reason for that was the performance. Yeah. I could not go from playing Horizon Forbidden West to playing Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 1. Like, it just physically hurt. So I'm glad that this game is available in a way to play that is smooth and Nintendo is never the graphics darling, right? But they've always managed to use their art direction and their art style to their advantage when the hardware infrastructure might not be that great. But Tears of the Kingdom was a game that their art style couldn't overcome the performance issues, the frame rate hits and the jaggies and all this shit. Like, it just was not fun for me to play because of that hindrance. So I want to get back to this game. When I get a Switch 2, this is like one of the first games that I really want to play because I love Zelda. I've got a huge history with Zelda. I've got tons of Zelda gear and Zelda merch. Just spent a shit ton of money in Japan on Zelda stuff. But this was a game that it never clicked for me. And so I'm glad to hear that it's rekindled something with you for sure.
This program is powered by Megadad's Boost, our public support program. You can join at patreon.com/Megadads. For over 10 years, Megadads has been bringing you the best in podcasts, reviews, interviews, family fun, and so much more. As an independent media organization, we rely on audience members like you to help support what we do, to ensure that Megadads can continue to bring you the great content that you enjoy. If you've been watching, listening, or playing along through the years, please consider lending your support by becoming a member of Megadads Boost. Memberships start for as little as $1 a month, and you can start collecting your Boost rewards from day one. Rewards like art cards, early access podcasts, reviews, gameplay clips, and so much more. Please visit patreon.com/Megadads and become a member today. You can help us continue to make more of that Megadads coverage you've loved over the last 10 years well into the future by becoming a member of Megadads Boost.
Yeah.
Well, that sound right there is the caboose. It's the end of this episode of Megadads Live, where we give you a recommendation of something outside the world of video games that we think you might enjoy. And I've got an interesting band that I want to recommend. This band's name is Sleep Token. Every once in a while, I'll let my music app kind of decide what I'm going to listen to, right? And like, based on your recommendations, you might like blah, blah, blah. One of Sleep Token's songs came on my Linkin Park recommendation radio. And this song was called, I think it's After Arcadia. And it rocked my shit. This is a very interesting blend of like indie pop and rock and metal. And there's some fusion in there. There's some tech in there. It's like everything rolled into one in this interesting metal operatic album. If you like music that kind of rides the wave of soft to hard and aggressive, you should check out Sleep Token. It's really good shit, and it doesn't sound like anything else. You know, like that's the best part about discovering a new band that you really love is like the unique individual sound. So I recommend people listen to Sleep Token.
Excellent. I don't think I've talked about this before, but my family has slowly taken on the sport of darts. So in old bars and like rusty, crusty underbelly establishments, there's these things called dartboards. People don't use them anymore, but my family does. Like my sisters and I, like we go out and we play. They really got into it first. They just like started playing. They're like, oh, this is fun. It's gotten to a point now where like my sister owns like 6 dartboards. I
Holy
just
shit.
installed one in my parents' house so we could play when we're there. They purchased their own like steel tip little thing. Like my other sister has a case and she like opens it up and it's like she keeps them shiny and all that. So when she goes somewhere, she plays with her darts. And when we go out, like I just went out yesterday and played darts, and we're competitive people and we like that, and it gives you something to do while you're at a bar and drinking or whatever. And like you can play billiards, you know, for instance. We like pool as well, but it's like a pastime. And if you do give it a shot and you learn how to play, because there's rules. You want bullseye, you want to be able to you know, throw accurately, period. But there's different games. Like when you play the electronic version, it's like, oh, hit this little spot, then hit this little spot, hit this spot 3 times before they get to hit it once, and you get more points, and then the points go up. You learn how to play the games over time. And me and my sister were playing yesterday, and it's just addicting. It's like, can I hit this little spot? And you learn a form, and you figure out how to throw it, and it ends up being really fun. The games can go really quick if you are good, and like I said, ultra competitive. Last night I got 3 bullseyes in a row. I took a picture. Yeah, I took a picture. It was like boom, boom, and like the last one literally like hit, like there you could only get so accurate. So my last third one hit the other one. It registered on the board because it was electronic. It was like bullseye, but like it hit it in a way where it like didn't end up staying because it hit the other end like in the back. I don't know.
You're
how
like
I
Robin
did it.
Hood.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it's a cool game. Check out darts, you know, if you can at a bar. Mess around with it. They still have them, you know, different places. So check it out.
Absolutely. So I'm fascinated by the carrying your own darts into the joint. So
It's
like
so cool, man.
You
When they
sharpen
go,
them up, or like
Yeah,
what's the point of having your
they're
own?
steel tip. They're you know, pretty sharp, and like you open them up and keep them clean. And there's the needle part of it, and then there's like the wings, like the little flaps on it, and they have to be straight, you know. So you kind of quickly just put it together. You know, you unfold the wings and screw the thing into the thing, so it comes out of the case. You assemble it quickly, and you're just there with your, you know, 3 or 6 darts.
Could you kill somebody with them? Could you kill somebody?
I
with
bet
that?
you could fucking kill
Yeah?
somebody if you threw it right and you got them right in the jugular. Like,
Oh fuck
you're-
yeah!
you're gonna pierce someone if you throw it the right way at the wrong angle. You could get someone in the eye pretty quick, I bet.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess they could be weapons. Sure. You know what? I'm gonna Google it.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Megadad's Live. Antonio is going to hone his skills of assassination with darts. You get all sorts of great tips when you listen and watch Megadad's Live. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel or the podcast feed. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you tell your friends about it. And of course, you join us on